Another two-part question.
Yeah.
One for Marcus, one for you, Bun. So what would you say along the way was the biggest financial lesson that you learned in the music industry, not taking account all the other successful ventures you've had after? And going back to his point, Marcus, like what are some of the things that Foundation 99 takes to someone, like in terms of framing what is it that they can actually afford, right? What's actually within their financially healthy for them to do, because that's a common thing that people do nowadays. They get a check, they buy more house than they need, they buy a more expensive car than what they need, more expensive clothes. So like what are some of the tools that Foundation 99 does to empower the community for them to be more financially literate?
Yeah, I would say, especially when it comes to home purchase, I mean, we're still, Black and brown communities, we're still well behind the curve on owning real estate, right? So that's a big thing for us, and making sure that, the folks that we work with are educated about that process. And so it's really, once again, it all, for me, I'm a planner by heart. So at the end of the day, it's let's sit down and let's look at, the income sources. I know that a lot of people talk about the home buying process and let's see what you can afford first and then go look at it, and I'm kind of on both sides of the fence. I think that's a smart play, but there's nothing wrong with dreaming, right? Go out, dream, see what you like, see what you want to get, and then let's sit down and obviously we could talk about what you can comfortably afford, but then educating them on the whole entire home buying process, right? Because you can go online and say a home costs $400,000, the interest rate is this, and then it plugs out a number and says your monthly payment is this. But then they forget about taxes, they forget about insurance, they forget about HOA fees, and all those things can easily take you out of the affordability of the home that you're trying to purchase. So really kind of helping people map out, what it is that they're trying to do, and then just making sure they have the financial means. There's a lot of financial planning standards that you can go over and say you should only spend this percentage of your gross income and this percentage of your net. But at the end of the day, it's during your working life, you're always, you got competing goals, right? And we're always working on more than one thing. Nobody's just working on retirement or putting kids through college. We got 10 things we're working on. We just got to prioritize what's important and figure out, okay, well, maybe I can't buy this $400,000 home and also have XYZ. If I go down 50,000 or 100,000, then I can also buy my wife a car, and I can put more money in my retirement account, and then I can get that house that I really want later. And so it's just kind of about making sure we map it out. Numbers don't lie, set expectations, but just make sure people are informed, so that way they're not going to let a real estate agent, that doesn't know their financial situation. They're trying to sell a house, right? We're trying to prepare people for the entire process of the house. And so that's really just the importance. So just making sure everybody's informed, and then we send you on your way, obviously, where we work with you through the process also, but it's really just making sure you have the information.
I should have had Marcus when I was a younger guy. You should have. So let's walk people. I'm gonna set up a scenario, and we're gonna walk people through entertainment or just pretty much accounting, right? So let's say I'm a brand new artist. I'm a popular artist. Record company wants to sign me. So a record company is going to advance me. Let's say we'll keep it small and easy so people can keep it. Let's say they're going to advance $500,000. Now, $150,000 of that is going to come to me personally. Okay. The rest of it is going to be spent on marketing, promotions, music videos, tour costs, and all of that stuff, right? So I've signed a record deal. It's for 10%, right? I've got a $500,000 advance. Let's say, keep the numbers even, my record sells 500,000 copies. I go gold. The records sell to a wholesaler for $5 a copy, right? I'm just throwing easily accessible numbers out. So the record has now generated $2.5 million. So I'm like, great, I'm finna start getting money. It doesn't work like that because you signed at 10%. So you're only afforded 10% of the money that's been made. So now, instead of you've made more money, actually you owe us money because your 10% only adds up to $250,000.
That's what that 10% means.
Yes. Yes. So actually, you still owe us $250,000
because they loaned you that.
Right. Exactly.
And that's a big misconception. The advancement.
Yeah. No. It's loan. It's loan sharking. It literally is. And so what the record company will tell you. So we can't pay you anything off what your first album generated, but we can give you an advance off of your second album. So, and it goes up. So we'll give you $750 for the second album. Okay. Now you're automatically in $1 million worth of debt.
So let's keep it within the music industry.
And that's how it works. So artists typically only make money off of touring. Used to. primarily. Now the deals come as what's known as a 360, which means we get a piece of everything. So, but now the record companies, to be fair, they have more incentive to help you with merchandise. Right. They have more incentive to help you with touring because they benefit off of it. Okay. But you're still underwater the entire time. You're still underwater. They realize that artists could actually profit from the touring and from the merchandise sales on the road. So they had to build a model and convince artists that they needed more help from the label in order to generate this income. Right.